On August 27th, back in 2005, I vividly remember my mother rushing around the house, packing all the kids' clothes, bagging up all the food, putting sandbags by the windows, and rushing us in the car to head out of town. I also remember sitting dead still on the highway due to all the traffic and everyone evacuating at once. Why is everyone evacuating, you may ask? Well, because living on the Gulf Coast on the beach during Hurricane Katrina was a call for disaster. According to DoSomething.org, Hurricane Katrina was one of the most deadliest and largest hurricanes to ever hit the United States. Sometimes it's hard to understand something when you weren't a part of it. Today I'd like to explain how powerful Hurricane Katrina was, the damage she left behind, and the challenging process my hometown and many others went through with the cleaning and rebuilding after the storm. Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast early in the morning on August 29, 2005. What started out to be a tropical storm quickly turned into one of the deadliest hurricanes to hit the United States. Hurricane Katrina is known as the largest and third strongest hurricane ever recorded to make landfall in the United States. Most victims of Katrina were expecting about 75 to 100 mile per hour winds, when in reality Hurricane Katrina struck with a high of 175 mile per hour winds and stretched as far as 400 miles wide. Katrina's storm surge, which is the average height of water that can rise during a hurricane, was up to 28 feet tall. Now that you have an idea of how powerful Hurricane Katrina was, let me tell you about the destruction she left behind. Once the powerful hurricane came, we weren't allowed to go home for another 4 weeks after. Due to all of the collapsed bridges, torn up highways, flooded and destroyed missing homes and buildings, as well as all the enormous debris that was left. Hurricane Katrina had completely wiped out the southern part of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. In fact, 80% of New Orleans was completely underwater, and over half of the victims did not have flood insurance. Katrina left hundreds of thousands of residents in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama completely homeless and jobless. The final death toll was 1,836 people, and 705 people are reported as still missing as a result of this hurricane due from 11 years ago. Hurricane Katrina is also expected, or experts had expected that Hurricane Katrina had left over $100 billion in damage. With thousands of houses and businesses destroyed, the states affected slowly had to face the challenges of cleaning and rebuilding. Here's some photos of during and after. After the shocking aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, the President of the United States, hundreds of troops, kind volunteers, and the communities involved had to get together in order to clean out debris and rebuild the best they could. With all the grocery stores and restaurants completely destroyed, hundreds of troops delivered thousands and thousands of truckloads of canned waters and MREs, which are actually meals ready to eat. They're the same meals that troops get sent today that are off at war to eat when they don't have access to cook with anything. Keep in mind that rebuilding and cleaning doesn't happen overnight. In fact, it took many, many years for many affected areas to get back on their feet. Due to schools being destroyed, many students, including my siblings and I, had to miss months and months of school. In fact, we were put in FEMA trailers to go to school, and it wasn't until 4.5 years later when our school building was rebuilt for us to go into. Here's more photos of the FEMA trailers. This is what we attended class in each class had a different FEMA trailer. Here's the MREs, the meal's ready to eat. You just open it and eat it. And here's a picture of the debris. That's just one example of one spot that was hit. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes it's hard to understand something when you were not a part of it. Today, I hope hearing and seeing how powerful, destructive, and challenging Hurricane Katrina was opens your eyes and helps you understand it more.